Gang, we back in the building, man. Your boy King Fire Feelings TV. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? We with a new upload, definitely a new reaction. As you could see on the screen right now, we got a man called 1090 Jake. Definitely we're going to react to the two of Foolio's convicted murderers got stabbed, almost lost their life. Definitely in prison. Now, you guys know it's not 3 months into the judgment that they got. It's not 4 months, it's not 2 months. But these guys already got targeted. Now, you guys can remember the last upload that we did. 1090 Jake did say that once they got convicted for murder and they go to jail, it's going to be a whole different shit. They got to be taking care of themselves. They got to know what's going on because they're going to have all kind of people in there. Also, they're going to have Foolio, gang-affiliated persons who love him, rate him, respect him for his work, for his... You know what I mean? His music and so forth. And then they're going to have the next set of people that might not like him. But obviously, you're going to reach into all sorts of people. So I'm not surprised of this that happened, but I'm shocked. See what's up? Before we jump into the video, remember, if it's your first time over here, feel free to give a video a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, put your post notification bell on. So you get more reactions like this notification. All right? No time to waste. Let's get into it right away.
Two of Foolio's convicted killers have allegedly reportedly been stabbed inside a Florida State prison.
Whoa.
Critical, taken to a hospital. This is what's been said. Nothing has been proven, right? So understand that. No incident reports have come out. No disciplinary reports have been released.
So wait, how the hell you guys got the information, bro? If no report ain't come out or none of that shit ain't happen, how the hell you guys doing this shit and saying this shit? Break it down to me, bro.
Nothing like that, but it's been said that two of the convicted killers, Sean Gathright and Rashad Murphy, got hit. And this didn't even happen at an actual prison. This allegedly happened at the Central Florida Reception Center. So a lot of people have things mixed up as far as where they went. I'm gonna break all this down. I'm gonna break down if I think this even happened, but let's just go over everything first. You want to make hundreds of dollars from your phone for free? Nope. There's a bunch of new games you get paid to play on free cash where you can make a quick 10. Two men convicted in the Foolio free cash. Now, my boy Flacco will post to the gram, two men convicted in the Foolio murder case, Sean Gathright.
Oh, Flacco is the motherfucking dude that did it. All right.
And Rashad Murphy reportedly hospitalized after allegedly being stabbed behind bars. Sean famously was the one that was crying in court. Rashad, I believe he cried too. The two men convicted in the Foolio case, Sean Gathright and Rashad Murphy, are reportedly hospitalized following an alleged incident behind bars. Officials have not confirmed the details, and their current conditions remain unclear as reports continue to...
Obviously, why officials ain't gonna confirm that shit as is because these dudes just went in prison, and we know the high standard of these dudes' judgment and the stability within the whole murder of Foolio. So they go into jail. We know this shit would have happened. So guess what? They ain't gonna put it out. But guess what? They gonna got people in there that is gonna let that shit out for word.
Circulate online. Now, academics would react to this live, so let's listen to what he said.
In this chat, this has been buzzing for a bit. They're saying that two of the suspects, or not suspects, two of the convicted killers of Foolio, they were brutally stabbed since they've been locked up. One was the 19-year-old who, if you guys remember, the prosecutor saying that, hey, or actually was a jail official saying, Judge, you know, we need niggas like this. We need that sweat equity. Sweat equity.
I think that was one of the craziest clips to come out of the trial. The guy is literally saying, don't give him the death penalty. We need guys like this. Give him life. We need that sweat equity. We'll put him to work. Because, you know, it's essentially slavery. Modern
sweat equity. You know what I mean? He's young. He's fertile. He's strong. We need guys like this.
Slavery is prison. If you know the history of prisons, they didn't start until slavery was abolished. Like, it's just what it turned into.
The jail administrator, he's someone that's young, He's healthy. In reality, we need that labor. We need that sweat equity.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
And we will put them out there to work because we do have an aging prison population, jail administration.
Imagine being talked about like that. You know, imagine sitting there and this dude is like vouching for you to get a life sentence so he can put you to work like you're literally a slave. So just to point out, the baldy, that's what you get when you hit reception. As soon as you get in there, the first thing they do is they shave all your hair off. But let's take a look at some of the posts that came out, because apparently the ops of the guys that got convicted went to posting right after the news allegedly broke that they got hit up. So 6 days ago on Reddit, it would state Sean Gathright and Rashad Murphy were both stabbed today, earlier, both in critical condition. Now, I don't rap. That's his Instagram name. I don't rap. Would write, pull through, knife, blood, knife, LOL, long live 6. Now, this is I Don't Rap's page. He says he's a day trader, stock investor. He's got 30K. And this is what he looks like. This is I Don't Rap, right? Looks like he's getting to a bag. He's got all the designer shit on. He's got some jewelry, whatever. Now, this would show him at visitation. So he was actually locked up. And I mean, that's just off top gonna mean he knows how it is in there. Box time, free me. He's in confinement. That's how the confinement looks. The windows are like that. They're graded. It's actually like that at the reception center that they got sent to. So when it rains, the shit blows right in your window. But he's been to prison. You know what I'm saying? He's from Jacksonville. He's been to prison. He's got a bag of canteen on his head. He's got the G-Shock, which is like the Rolex inside of prison. I'm not gonna lie. If you got a G-Shock, you with it, because motherfuckers will try to rob you for that G-Shock. That's literally like having a Rolex. And he's got a diamond grill in there. So I guarantee you he had some type of clout. He's got some jewelry. You know, on the Florida Department of Corrections website, Xavier Pennick is his actual name. He was born in 1999. He was released in 2025. He had heroin, cocaine, two-way communications device, committed felony, which is like using a phone, whatever. So he was in there from 2023 to 2025, right? So he didn't do a ton of time. He did a little bit of time. He got a taste of it. But interestingly enough, when you jump on Reddit, I Don't Rap, who apparently is from YNR, which, you know, Slugger T just got out. According to this, he's a rat. Based on the Pursuit XP, and we know XP stands for Xavier Pennick, was shown photo spread of each individual.
Xavier Pennick? God damn.
XP selected the photograph of Francis after signifying his selection. XP was told he could not remain anonymous, so he tore off his signature on the signed photograph of Francis. He then did not select a photograph from the compilation that included flowers. Now, this says 2 separate guns were used. There was a shooting. So, I Don't Rap apparently sat down with the police and identified somebody, circled them, signed off on it. And when they told him, look, we can't keep this private, he said, fuck that, tore the shit off. And then, you know, he ain't want no parts of cooperating. Is that ratting? I mean, you identified somebody, you circled it, you signed off. The only reason you took it back is you found out people were gonna find out, and they still found out because the officers wrote it in the report. But this is who's dissing the Foolio killers. This is I Don't Rap saying pull through, right? Now, do I give a fuck if he told? No, but I'm just showing y'all what's said on Reddit about him. And there's a lot of other weird stuff about him having sissy things on his phone. He got caught, like, they used his phone in prison. He had a cell phone. They found like weird stuff in there, and he's got a couple of different allegations, but that doesn't mean there's truth to it. It's just what people have been saying about him, right? Now, next on the list of disses is Trey Boy. Trey Boy said, "Get up, ghost, don't die, rest up 6." So Trey Boy is directly sending shots at him saying, "Get up, ghost, don't die." You know, alleging he got stabbed. and says, "Rest up 6," who is obviously Foolio. Now this is Trey Boy. This is what he looks like. And you know, he also went to prison. His name is Charles Howell. He was born in 98, and he's actually still in the Florida Department of Corrections. So he's at Bridges of Lake City. He has a community custody. And apparently Bridges of Lake City is like a release center. It only has 168 inmates. You got to be minimum or community custody, meaning you can go out in the public. So basically what they do is before you get released from prison, they'll put you in one of those. And like, you're in like a regular dorm and shit, but you get to leave the prison and go like work at like Foot Locker or McDonald's or some shit, so you can start making some money. I'm not.
Yo, where I came from, bro, that shit does not happen. Yeah, nigga could go outside, but nigga be going outside and do community work like weeding the grass and so forth, emptying the trash and those kind of shit. Them, you know what I mean? But nigga be going on work in company business and still be in jail. That shit's crazy.
Not sure if that's what he's doing. He's community as far as his like custody level, which means he can go outside the gates, and it also means he can have access to a cell phone.
Wow.
But his current release date is 2027, so he's still in there for a little bit, and he's apparently dissing. But not only that, he's been very vocal about the Foolio trial, and it's all posted to Reddit, right? So it says, Trap Boy VL PCE shares his opinion on the Foolio trial and claims that Foolio killers were stalking him back when he was still free. He says, watching this trial makes me so mad because we seen them same 3 outside my shit laying. I called Bronham like, pull up, we got them, ain't nobody react, but if they did, we would have handled that business and 6 will still be here. So basically he's saying 3 of Foolio's killers was outside of his house and he called his homies up to come get them, but they didn't do it. And had they killed them, Foolio would still be here, which is a crazy thing to say. I probably could have did it myself, but 17 shots wasn't enough for 3 kills. I was being smart, not scared. My girl had more heart than y'all. Now, Trey Boy would say it was Sean, not Ghost, that apparently got stabbed. I got the wrong call, but I'm gonna keep y'all posted. They gotta go. Long live 6. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why he's inserting himself if he doesn't have anything to do with this shit, because Florida has a state RICO. And if you're trying to tie yourself into prison stabbings while you're technically in the Florida Department of Corrections, not only can your custody level shoot up and they put you under investigation and you're no longer allowed to leave the gates, but you can get tied into this shit because you're inserting yourself saying they gotta go. I'm gonna keep y'all posted. You're telling the fucking public, you're communicating with whoever's there doing whatever they're doing. So essentially you're self-snitching, but this isn't Trey Boy's first time doing so, because Trey Boy's paperwork dropped and it says he stated he was involved in the HF beef and the Out East beef came later, which he wasn't really involved in. That's why he got shug-tatted. We don't know what the fuck that is, but basically it says he stated he goes by Trey Boy because he is Charles Howell III. He identified Javante Robinson as his blood cousin and JB as his cousin. What name the game goes by? He stated PCE, K Block. What kind of crimes PCE was involved in? I asked murders and he replied all the ones where blank, we can't see everything. I asked robbery, shootings, thefts, and he shook his head yeah, and again replied all the ones blank, everything you got on there, pointing to the arrest affidavit. He stated he was involved in the beef with Head First Gang. He also stated there was another beef, blah, blah, blah. Asked about the gang hand signs used by PCE, and he showed numerous pictures. So, I mean, damn.
I'm taking the business in a whole new direction.
Expanding the bakery.
Cakes by mail.
Tell me more.
There's a whole lot of paperwork. Dude is basically breaking down who he is, who he's involved with, what gang he represents, how to throw up the gang signs. He's saying his gang is involved with murders, shootings, this and that. So he's telling it all to the police. And now this is like old paperwork. This is like from 2020. But now he's online while still in, prison custody, talking about, yeah, they gotta go. I'll keep y'all updated on who got stabbed. Blah, 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 blah. Like, this shit's fucking messy. Now this right here is the Central Florida reception.
He is a prison vlogger. That's why he say, I'm gonna keep you up. I'm gonna keep you updated because he's a prison. That nigga's in prison, and just because he's allowed to have a phone doesn't make any sense he's saying anything like that. But he is a prison YouTuber or vlogger. You know what I mean? Say vlogger, he's on TikTok, Instagram or whatever the fuck he's posting this shit on. That shit's crazy. He said, yo, I'm gonna keep you updated. I'm gonna keep you all posted with who gets stabbed or who ain't get stabbed. Like, nigga, what the fuck?
And for a short period of my life, I called this place home because this is where I got sent to when I went to prison. Now understand, if you're from Jacksonville, which is North Florida, like all the way north, you go to the North Florida Reception Center. You basically go to Butler, Lake Butler, right? And Butler is a terrible fucking place. But because these Jacksonville killers committed the killing in Tampa, which is Hillsborough County, which is Central Florida, you get sent to the Central Florida Reception Center. So there's the South Florida Reception Center, the Central Florida, the North Florida, and the Northwest. Those are the 4 reception centers.
Let me tell you something. Even if you're not from the streets or you're from the streets, even if you don't do crime or you do crime, this shit is credible information to get, bro. Keep you updated with how prisons stay. That shit is gonna make you not want to go to prison. Never. I swear to God. When 1090 Jake breaking down the prison whereabouts, bro, I'd be like, nah, nigga, I ain't, nah. Straight up, I love to be on the road.
In the state of Florida. Now, as far as Central goes, when you get here, the bus is gonna bring you in here. So the bus comes in, it's gonna be like 4 or 5 in the morning, it's dark out. They're gonna search the bus in this little cage area right here. Then they let you in. When they bring you in, they take you all out right here. They bring you inside and you're gonna go through basically the whole little spiel. First, they'll put you in cells. You come out, you stand up, they get your height, they take your picture. If you're young, they give you a red hat. That means you're a YO. Then you're going to move on to the next spot and you're going to get your hair cut, your shit shaved off, whatever. Then you get put in the dorms. Now, I remember this place very well. And I believe the chow hall is either this building on the left, this one, or this one. I'm pretty sure it's this one because it has the little shit right there, like that you can go under, right? But basically, all these other shits are dorms. So they're all butterfly wings, which is basically in the middle of it is where the CO is. And then you got a wing here, wing here, wing here, wing here, right? Now this right here is the main rec yard. You can see pull-up bars, push-up bars, the basketball courts, the little gazebo. And then there's a little mini rec yard over here. So this mini one was for the YOs. It was separated from the main yard. So this dorm right here, this was H dorm, known as hotel dorm or hell dorm. This was specifically for the YOs. The YOs don't exist anymore, so now I believe it's confinement from what I've heard. But that left side right there, that was for 18 and under. The middle was for 19 to 20, and the right was for 21 to 24. So every morning, we would line up outside of this shit right here, march through this gate, go past this, which was, I believe, canteen, and we got to go all the way to chow, which was here, right? And you had some cuttings. I never seen anyone get cut in this line right here, but it did happen. And our rec was right over here. This is where we played basketball. If we were playing football, we played football right here. There's like a trench right there. And yeah, I was in this dorm. I was in the 18 and under, and I was in the 19 and 20 when I came back and got sent to Lancaster. I fought inside of here. I seen people get beat up inside of here. That's the Central Florida Reception Center. Now, do I believe they were stabbed here? Not entirely. And why do I say that? Because it's a reception center. You're not really staying here long. Like I said, you're here for about a month and a half to 2 months. It's normally not stabbings. Like if you take a piece of fence and you fucking turn it into a poker, okay, yeah, whatever. But what you do get here is razors. So these razors right here, the blue one, that's typically what you get as soon as you come in. And when you break it apart, it looks like this. Now this one is broken, clearly. It's snapped in half, but this would be a solid line. Now, even these two pieces, you're not, when you cut somebody with one of these, right? Because you take the razor, you pop the blade out. You don't leave it in the thing. When you cut someone with it, you only need a piece because you're tying that piece onto something. People burn it in the toothbrushes, that really doesn't happen because it stinks. What they'll do is they'll tie it onto a pencil. So you take a pencil, you shave half of it so it's super flat, and you tie the razor on, put a stamp around the blade so you can tie it on with string so it doesn't cut through. And you only need a little piece of corner, right? So the little corner piece of the blade, that's what you're essentially, you know, digging into someone's face. And that's what I got hit with. You see that little shiny sky right there that goes from fucking right here to down here and then it just fades away? That's what I got cut with when I got cut at Lake Butler, was a razor like that. If these dudes got hit, it is more likely they were slashed than stabbed, because at the end of the day, they were at a reception center. Could it have been knives? Sure. But more than likely, the first thing you get at reception, aside from a lock at canteen, is a razor. Now, one thing I do want to show y'all, because I thought this was very interesting. We go on the Florida Department of Corrections website, Corrections Offender Network. We're going to go over to the inmate population. And if we type in Sean Gathright and we search him, no offender records were found that match your criteria search. That's very strange, right? So yesterday I did a video on K Shorty, and the dude that he snitched on was named Roland Ball, and he's got a life sentence. So when we search that, okay, boom, we got Roland Ball right here, right? Sentenced to life, got sentenced from Jacksonville, he's got murders, this and that, whatever. But let's do it again. Rashad, last name Murphy. Type it in. This isn't him.
At Popeyes, we gave shrimp a bold Louisiana twist. Try 8 crunchy butterfly shrimps.
This is somebody else. Let's type in Chance. And you don't even have to put the whole first name. You can just put the letter, but his name is Isaiah Chance. That's another one of them. Nothing pops up. Let's type out the whole name. I don't even know how to spell Isaiah's name. But then you had Davion Murphy, right? Let's type in Davion Murphy. Submit. Nothing pops up. So the reason I want to show y'all this is because what they do in the Florida Department of Corrections, right? I'm going to show y'all this. Everybody remembers Nicholas Cruz, the school shooter, right? And aside from the fucking heinous crime that he committed, a lot of people were pissed off because of this. What prison is Nicholas Cruz at, and why is his location hidden? The case of Nicholas Cruz, the Parkland school shooter, continues to attract national attention. While Cruz is known to be incarcerated, the exact location of his confinement is not publicly disclosed by the Florida Department of Corrections, right? So he's been placed in protective management. The FDOC maintains that the specific facility housing an inmate can change for security, safety, or administrative reasons. In Cruz's case, the department has not publicly disclosed the exact prison or unit in which he's being housed. This approach is not unusual for inmates who pose elevated risk due to notoriety, ongoing appeals, or potential safety threats. So when we type in Nicholas Cruz, into the Florida Department of Corrections, again, nothing pops up. Nicholas Cruz is in protective management. We don't have PC in Florida. It's called PM, protective management. Normally it's just confinement, but there are some compounds that literally have PM units where the whole dorm is full of PM, protective management, and they're separated from everyone else. You can look up anyone else on the Florida Department of Corrections, but you can't look up Nicholas Cruz. They won't tell you where he is. I'll say this. The fact that right now I am unable to look up any of the convicted killers of Foolio, aside from the girl, makes me think if 2 of them did get shot inside a prison, by shot I mean cut, stabbed, whatever, as a collective, the Florida Department of Corrections could have placed all 4 of them in protective management due to a clear safety fucking risk, right? If it's that evident that y'all killed a famous rapper and at any compound you touch down on, you could potentially get killed, all 4 of them could have been taken off the website. No one knows where they're at, placed in protective management. That right there makes me think something did happen. Because only a couple weeks ago, you could look all of them up and see their bald haircuts. You know, normally, even if you're getting transferred, it'll just show your mug shot and whatever prison you were at until you get to the new one, and then it updates. But the fact that you can't even look them up makes me think something happened. Now, are they in critical? I would have no idea. If they got hit and they had to be taken to an outside hospital, they'll be chained to the bed, you know, whatever will happen, and they'll be brought back to the prison, right? If they're healed up, they're just gonna go to a regular prison. They're not automatically gonna go to Lake Butler, which has a medical side. That's more so for people like on shit bags that have 1 legs, they're in wheelchairs, they're dying, they have cancer. Like, that's the shit you see on the medical units. So unless they have like some debilitating thing from the injury, no, if they're healed up, they'll go to another prison. Do we know if this happened or not? We don't. Will there be incident reports? 100%. But if they are being protected by the state of Florida now, like Nicholas Cruz, no one's gonna get access to that information because it's a security risk. It's a safety risk. This is how real prison is. Everyone saw Sean Gathright crying in court, praying, talking about Jesus. He wants to spread the word, da-da-da. Homie, you don't get to decide how prison's gonna be. You don't. Just like you don't get to decide how the streets are gonna be. You don't get to decide who's gonna come at you, who's gonna try you. You don't. And if you wanna go in there and put your feet up and read your Bible and get into the word of God, which I'm not against, you have to earn it. You gotta get respect. You got 1 body. That doesn't mean shit in there. When there's people in there that got 5, 10, you know, and they're still catching them in there. You got to go in there and get respect. They're from Jacksonville, right? The Jacksonville gangs doesn't really matter in Florida State Prison. Pretty much everyone from Jacksonville is going to fall under cutthroat. And a lot of those dudes are also banging blood at the same time. So either they're going to be bloods or they're going to be cutthroat. That's the city's gang inside of there, right? Foolio had a lot of people fucking with him. And everyone knows, yo, if you clap one of these 4 people that got him, you're getting instant fame because you're the one that got Foolio's killer. So this shit's gonna follow them through the entire Florida Department of Corrections. There's always gonna be a risk in this situation. Do I think they got hit? I don't know. It's a possibility. The fact that you can't look them up tells me something's going on. Even if it's just news that they got hit, the Florida Department of Corrections could have grabbed them up. We don't know. Someone's gonna speak out eventually. As vocal as Sean's sister's been throughout the trial, I would have assumed that she would have been like, ain't nobody do nothing to my brother, y'all lying. But she hasn't said anything. None of them have said anything. With that being said, this is why I make these videos, so y'all can understand how serious the shit is. The streets and whatever you did in the streets, it doesn't stop when you get to prison. You don't get to choose to just walk away from that lifestyle. Nah, now's the time you really gotta lace them boots up, get you a piece of metal and put on. You wanted to be a gangster, you got a mandatory life sentence. There's no coming back from. Live that life. That's the life that you chose. Sean had a choice. The rest of them, I don't know. They grew up fucked up and went through a lot of shit. One of them got his manhood shot. You know what I'm saying? So he had a pretty big reason to want some get back, and his relative got killed. Sean had a choice. He chose this. Let him sit with his decision. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all. Y'all rocking with me. Till next time.
That's my nigga, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Shout out to everybody that definitely tune in, man. Everybody will logged in. Like I said, man, give me your honest opinion upon this shit in the comment section. Peace and love. King Fire Feelings. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, put your post notification bell on. We out. Till next time.